service design book. Okay, so now it's recording. And so as told, I'm Associate Professor Mari Suoheimo. I work at the Oslo School of Architecture and Design. And with me, I have Michalina Fidos, his PhD candidate at the University of Lapland. And we've been writing together the chapter we're going to present today also with Pansha Hoa and Peter Jones. So the book itself is totally open access, free of charge. You can download it from the link I just posted in the chat, or you can use this QR code with your cell phone to download and see any chapter you like. And the book was co-edited by me, Peter Jones, Sheng-Hung Lee, and Birger Sevaldsson. And about the structure of today, so we give this little intro for the book. What is the book about? And we're going to concentrate more on the chapter 5, which is Dancing with Power Dynamics Inside Systemic Service Design Projects. So the book itself, it's an overview about system theories and how these can be integrated to service design to address complex social, economic, technological challenges. There are in total 14 chapters, which are divided in two. First part is more about theoretical backgrounds, and the second part has more practical case studies around the world. And the service design, it has had a lot of focus like on looking at touch points, user interactions, but now it has been more and more increasingly looking at organizational transformation, and this all involves like complexities that we deal with. And in this way, we have also kind of maybe recognized that we have some limitations when we deal with service design issues, when we have complex societal challenges at hand. And this way, this book wants to give more kind of holistic understanding of how we can deal with the systems that we would not produce service failures when we deal with complexities. And in this way, the whole aim is to equip service designers to tackle complex issues. So the first section has these 6 chapters that are very interesting. I can say that each one of them is very good. I could highlight maybe the chapter 3 that gives some practical tools, that is about mesh mapping and giga mapping tools, how to understand systems in services, how to visualize the complexity. And then the chapter 4 is looking more on the way we think about the systems and challenges, and how we have to have maybe a bit of a paradigm shift also in services, like not only focus on the touch points, but also look the bigger complexity that we deal with. And the chapter 6 is also quite interesting, which is about oppressions in services and how we might, without not wanting, we might be reproducing systems of oppression as well. So this chapter is very good at bringing some consciousness on this topic. And in the section 2, there are other very great chapters. These are more like in case study type of chapters that are looking about long-term care services, or how there are social structures when you deal with family violence. Or there is another case 11 is about also violence in Norway. And then there's healthcare services and looking also at AI in the case of service design. And just as an introduction, so in the chapter 1, I just thought to bring this figure that is also interesting to see how we put together service design and systemic in Scopus. So there's quite little research done previously, and it's like a growing field. If you look from the past couple of years, so the number of publications is starting to grow. And I think it's also interesting to look at the 4 orders of Buchanan, that the first order, how we kind of understand design is that we do and interact with symbols, doing like pamphlet, leaflets, logos, so kind of visualizations. Whereas second order of design is known for products, tools, furniture, And third order is about interaction. And in the fourth level, you go to the ecosystems and systems design. And there, like the complexity goes from the low to the high. And Eugene and San Giorgi has been writing how service design, especially in the public sector, is more about the second and third order, but should have also emphasis in the fourth order. And then in the conclusions chapters, we kind of show this kind of onion here that this book aims to be like here in the middle of the interaction service design and system environmental design. So it's like the systemic service design that are about problems of action and integration. And now we have then the chapter 5 that has been co-authored by me, Mathilde Domine, Eriksdatter Kiske, Shaho Hoaban, Mihalina Fidos, and Peter Jones. And in this chapter, we look more how or recognize how we use a lot of participatory methods to gather insights and co-develop proposals with involved actors. But still, in the process, we can come across with conflicts, tensions, and power imbalances. And this kind of imbalances, they might stem from hierarchical roles, social positions, and the differing values and priorities that they may bring. And itself, discussing power is not novel in service design, but there has been more focus in the individual agency, emphasizing reflexivity and awareness of one's own practices, positions, and biases. And since service design has been addressing more complex, wicked problems, applying systems theories, power structures within projects have also expanded. Can we solely rely on reflection and individual awareness when addressing power? How do service designers experience and navigate power dynamics in their professional context? So this was our main question when we were talking about or making the research for this publication. And now I hand over to Mihalina.
Yes, thank you. But please keep on sharing your screen. Yeah. So our research employed the ecological system theory model in focus groups to capture and analyze designers' experiences and career trajectories. Next. As a result, it identified three seemingly obvious overarching themes that interplay and overlap with one another, that are hierarchies, diversity challenges, and communication. Yeah, next. In hierarchy, power often lies in assumptions about expertise, credibility, and authority, such as a student deferring to a professor or junior designers to a senior or a non-native speaker to a native one. However, these hierarchies go beyond roles or titles. They are embedded in social scripts that privilege certain knowledge, shape who is heard, and define who counts as valuable, what counts as valuable work. Similarly, diversity challenges rarely begin with exclusion. Power is often exercised at the interpersonal level, such as being asked to remove a hijab at work or having one's name repeatedly mispronounced. So these acts reflect deeper structural power rooted in unspoken norms about what is acceptable, who belongs, and how we behave. Then we have communication that was not only about open expression, but also about psychological safety, such as the ability to question, disagree, or maintain personal and professional boundaries without fear. So it's not merely about the exchange of information, but about who gets to speak, how they are listened to, and which ways of speaking are legitimized in a given context. So this empirical study proves that power does not operate in isolation. It is rather embedded and diffused in social relations, norms, and structures. So, can we aid designers in identifying and navigating power structures within service systemic design? So, this is the question we've been tackling in our next ongoing research, where we propose a template that serves as a boundary object, supporting co-designers in identifying, discussing, and addressing power structures in their work and research. And hopefully it's coming soon. So yeah, stay tuned.
I could maybe add here only like one thing. I don't know how many of you are familiar with ecological systems theory. So we gathered the data with, was it like 3, 4 focus groups? And we asked people that were there that could you tell us what, or in post-it notes, what positive, negative power experiences you have had, and they would put the post-it notes here. So the individual level, like what are you feeling as an individual? And then in the micro level is you, but then in the a bit larger. And meso is like could be like a company or a school, and exo is a bit more wider, I think, like citywide. You can, if I'm going already one in the audience, and be like laws or regulations and all kinds of like national or international ways of looking things. And then there's chrono layer that is kind of time-wise, that there were people saying like as well that, oh, now I'm getting too old, that they want to get rid of me in the work because they don't think I'm still valid, or people saying that I'm too young and people don't take me seriously as well. So there are these kinds of different like experiences of power in the time-wise as well. And but yes, but we have the conversation time, and we could also propose to ask that what kind of power experiences have you experienced in your work? And yes, I don't know, do we now put the recording away and then have a conversation time?